Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss a new part of chapter 7. The name of the chapter is Control and Coordination. Already we have completed part 1, part 2 and part 3 portion of the chapter from your class 10 biology syllabus. And from these 3 videos we came to know the nervous system, the response, the stimulus, the neuron structure, neuron function, reflex action, reflex arc and the human brain structure and function. In this video, we will get to know the endocrine system of the living organism. So today I am going to teach part 4 of chapter 7. So let's start today's class. Today I am going to discuss the endocrine glands and their function. So before starting the topic, I think all of you know that what is the meaning of endocrine gland. I think all of you already knew these things, that what is the meaning of the endocrine glands. Because this endocrine system and the nervous system actually control and coordinate all the body function present in our whole body system. So what is the meaning of endocrine gland, or what is the meaning of endocrine system? Actually, in addition to the nervous system, so there are several higher invertebrates and vertebrates are there which have another system. So these systems are called the endocrine system. Actually, what is the main function of this endocrine system? This endocrine system actually controls and coordinates all the body functions to maintain a steady state environment, to maintain a steady state condition. So this condition is called the homeostasis. So here I have written what is the meaning of hormone, because from the endocrine gland the hormone is secreted. Okay, so what is the basic definition of hormone? The basic definition of hormone, that a hormone is a chemical messenger that regulates the physiological process in the living organism and it's secreted by a gland. So the name of the gland is the endocrine gland. So I am repeating again, what is the basic definition of the hormone? The basic definition of hormone, that it's actually a chemical substance. This is actually a chemical compound. This is actually the chemical substance, chemical messenger. Why it's called the messenger? Because it provides the message. Okay, so that's why this is one kind of the chemical messenger which regulates the physiological process in living organisms, and these hormones actually secreted by a gland. Next thing, the regulation of the physiological process, control and coordinates by the hormone is governed by the endocrine system. So there I have written one term, the endocrine system. So what is the basic definition of endocrine system? That this system actually, what is the basic function of this endocrine system? This endocrine system actually controls and coordinates all the body function to maintain a homeostasis condition, to maintain a steady state condition inside the body. Okay, so as because here I have written the system, it means it consists of several organs. So this endocrine system actually consists of by several glands. Okay, so all those glands are collectively called the endocrine gland. I am repeating again, as because the term is the system. Okay, so I am highlighting this portion, as because the term is the system. So that's why this system actually consists of, made up of by several organs. Okay, because the digestive system, respiratory system, nervous system, reproductive system, excretory system, all those systems are made up of by several organs. Okay, so here also, as because I have written this is the system, this endocrine system is also formed of a number of isolated but endogenously located ductless or endocrine glands. Okay, so this is the basic function, this is the basic things of the endocrine system. And what is the basic function of the endocrine system? The basic function of the endocrine system to control and coordinates all the physiological process which actually present inside the body. And through this endocrine system, through this endocrine gland, from the endocrine gland, the hormone is secreted, the chemical messenger, and this hormone actually coagulate mixed with the blood for their transportation to specific target site. Okay, so this is the basic things of the hormone. Next thing, next slide contains the glands. Okay, because glands, so this endocrine system actually made up of by several glands. Okay, so now I am coming to the definition of the glands, because you should know what is the basic definition of glands. So what is the basic definition of glands, or how you will define the gland? So actually this glands is a cell, tissue or a organ that secretes the hormones required for a specific function. That's called the gland. I am repeating again. What is the basic definition of the glands? What is the basic function of the gland? The basic definition of the gland is, this is actually a one kind of the cell or tissue or a organ which specifically secretes the hormone which is required for a specific function. So what is the basic function of the hormone? This hormone actually one kind of the chemical messenger. This hormone is actually one kind of the chemical messenger which is consist of some organic substance, organic compounds, and secreted in a small amount by the endocrine glands. Okay, so these glands in our body, normally there are two types of glands present. Okay, the first one is the exocrine gland, second one is the endocrine gland. So I am repeating again myself that these glands actually divided, these glands actually broadly categorized into two types, the endocrine gland and the exocrine gland. This is important for your exam. This thing is important for your 1 mark or 2 mark question, that the difference between the exocrine gland and the endocrine gland. That's why I have made this slide. Okay, so what is the basic definition of the exocrine gland and what is the basic meaning of the definition of the endocrine gland? First you should know what is the meaning of the exocrine gland. Exo means the outer, okay, and endo means the inner. So what is the definition of exocrine gland? That these kinds of glands, actually these exocrine glands are the ducted glands. What is the meaning of ducted glands? Ducted glands means that these glands actually consist of the ducts. Okay, and these glands, the secretion of these glands actually discharge to the body surface. Okay, so these kinds of the secretion, which is secreted from the exocrine gland, these kinds of secretion mixed with the blood and it comes outside of the body, like the sebaceous gland, like the salivary gland, like the saliva, like the sweat. So all those are the secretion from the exocrine gland. Okay, next thing is the endocrine gland. So these glands do not discharge their secretion through the ducts. So that's why this endocrine gland is actually the ductless gland. This endocrine gland is the ductless gland, and these glands secretes the hormone. The hormone is not secreted from the exocrine gland. Hormone is always secreted from the endocrine gland. Please mark my word, the endocrine gland is the only source of the hormone secretion, because hormone is only present in the endocrine gland. Hormone is only secreted from the endocrine gland. Hormone is not secreted from the exocrine gland. So here these hormones are known as the, that's why this endocrine gland is called the ductless gland, and they discharge their secretion directly into the bloodstream. Okay, and these secretion are called the hormones. So there are several endocrine glands present in our body. We'll discuss later about this matter. So here, so this exocrine gland and endocrine gland difference is very important for your 1 or 2 marks question. So go through this slide properly. Next thing is the coordination in plants. So as because plants is also one living organism, because in our environment there are two living organisms are only there, okay, the plants and the animals. So as because plants is the living organism, is one of the most important living organism which is present in our earth. So these plants has also have some control and coordination system in the body, because they have some several system. So this hormone system is also there in the plant's body, okay. So through this hormone system the plants control and coordinate all their function. So here these plants respond to the stimulus by two ways, either by growth movements such as changes shown by growing plants, or by some chemical changes, okay, either by some growth movements or by some chemical changes, such as in case of the Mimosa pudica. This is one kind of the plant, it's very quick movements, it has very quick movement, okay. Or immediate response such as the Mimosa, the information is transferred by the electrochemical changes from cell to cell, and the movement occurs by changes in cell size by the osmosis process. So this is one kind of the movement. In normal condition actually the cells remain turgid. What is the meaning of turgid? Turgid means the bulky, the swallowing condition, and maintains the normal posture, but as a stimulus received the cells, it actually starts the exosmosis. As a result water comes out of the cell and the shrink in size. So this is one kind of the coordination, this is one kind of the actually the response of the plant's body. The next thing is the growth movement, okay. So what is the meaning of the growth movement? So in some plants, actually in some plants movements occurred by growth, such as the increase in size in tendrils which are sensitive to touch. Just look at the structure, just look at the structure. So all those things, so these are called the tendrils, okay, these are called the tendril. So tendril when comes in contact with some object, the part which is away grow rapidly and coils around the object. So when tendrils are actually comes in contact with some object, so look at the structure, look at the diagram. So this is one object is there. So when tendril comes in contact with this object, so what happen, this tendril actually coiling around the object. So this is also one kind of the movement, this is also one kind of the growth movement. So bending of the plant stem towards the light is also a growth movement. These movements are slow. So this is also the another kinds of the growth movement, that the bending of the plant stem towards the light is also one kinds of the growth movement. So these kinds of movements are also very slow process. Next thing is the on the basis of stimulus the movements are of various types. So this is very important for your exam. So these different kinds of the growth movement is also very important for your exam, for your 5 marks question, okay. So first movement is the phototropism. So there are several growth movement seen in the plant's body. So first movement is the phototropism. So from the name I think you will get to know that phototropism means the photo means the sunlight, okay, and tropism means the movement. Here I have written the phototropism. What is the meaning of photo? Photo means the sunlight and tropism means the movement. So here the light is stimulus and plants have towards or away from the light. So here also the stem is positively phototropic. So I am repeating again. So here the light is stimulus, okay. So for the stimulus one response is required. So what is the response? What is the plant's response? The plants are moving towards or away from the light. So like the plant's body have normally the general two parts are there, the root and stem. So stem is showing the positive phototropic movement. Why? Because the stem actually move towards the sunlight, okay, and root actually showing the negative phototropic movement. Why? Because root actually move away from the light, okay. So there are two types of the tropic movement, the positive tropic movement or the negative tropic movement. What is the meaning of positive tropic movement? That when the response is occurred towards the stimulus, that's called the positive movement, and when the response actually move away from the stimulus, that's called the negative tropic movement. So in the phototropism, the light is the stimulus because photon is the sunlight. So the which parts of the plants move towards the light, so this part actually showing the phototropic, the positive phototropic movement, and which part of the plant actually showing the negative tropic movement, actually move away from the light, so this part is actually showing the negative tropic movement. Next is the geotropism. Next point is the geotropism. So what is the meaning of geotropism? Here the geo means the gravity. Okay, so here the gravity is stimulus and plants move towards or away from the light. So here also the root is positively geotropic. Why? Because the root of the plant move towards the gravitational force and the stem of the plant actually move away from the gravitational force. So this is the another kind of the tropic movement which shows in the plant's body. Next thing is the hydrotropism. Hydro means the water. Okay, hydro means the water. So what is the meaning of the hydrotropism? That here the water is stimulus and plants have towards or away from the light. So here root is also positively hydrotropic. So root always showing the positive geotropic and hydrotropic movement because water is present inside the soil. Okay, so root is present, root is there near the soil, so that's why root is positively hydrotropic. And the last one is the chemotropism. Chemo means the chemical, so chemical is stimulus. Here the chemical is the stimulus. Here the pollen tube shows the chemotropism while entering the ovule. So this is very important example. The example of the chemotropism, that the pollen tube shows the chemotropism while entering the ovule. So this is very much important and please remember this example because this is one of the only one example is there in the chemotropism in the plant's body. So please properly follow this example because this is important for your 1 mark question. Next thing is the Nastic movement. So what is the meaning of the Nastic movement? So these are actually the non-directional movements. These are actually the non-directional movements which are neither towards or away from the stimulus. It does not depends on the growth. So this is actually the touch-based movement. This is actually the touch-based movement. So example, if we touch the leaves of Touch Me Not plant, the leaves fold up and droops down immediately due to the change in the amount of water in the leaves. So this is actually there is no stimulus is there. Okay, there is no actually not directional movement or neither towards or away from the stimulus. Okay, so depending on the amount of water in the leaves, it swells or shrink. So this is the another example of the different movement. The name of the movement is the Nastic movement and this is the example of the Nastic movement. This is the example of this is actually the diagram of the phototropism, that the stem is moves towards the sunlight and the root is actually moves away from the sunlight, and this is all these kinds of the movement always the unidirectional movement. This is also the diagram of the geotropism. Okay, this is phototropism and the geotropism. Next thing is the chemotropism. This is the example that the when pollen tube actually enters into the ovule, that time it shows the chemotropism. So this is the pollen grains, this is the pollen tube, this yellow color structure is the pollen tube. Okay, and this is the ovule area, this whole thing is the ovule area. In the time of the double fertilization, this pollen tube enters into the ovule area and it shows the chemotropic movement. Okay, next thing is the chemical coordination. So the nervous system show insufficiency as it does not associate with each cell and it requires a resting period before setting a new impulse. Okay, so there is a need of having a system in which cells secrete some chemicals which can be detected by other cell, even transmitted also. So here the hormones are also there. So these are one kinds of the chemical messenger which are secreted by endocrine glands and released directly into the blood, from where they can reach to the target organ and show their effect. So in the plant's body also, this plant's body has also different kinds of the hormone and these are collectively called the phytohormones. So I am repeating again, In plants, the control and coordination is done by the chemical substance that's called the phytohormones. I am repeating again. In plants body, control and coordination actually done by some chemical substance that's called the plant hormones or the phytohormones. So there are total 5 main types of plant hormone is there. The first one is the auxins, gibberellin, cytokinins, abscisic acid and the ethylene. So this is also important, these phytohormones and their function in your exam. So this type of question may come that write down the different types of the phytohormone with their function, or specific like the write down the function of the auxins, write down the function of the gibberellin. This type of question may come in your board exam or your school exam. So what is the basic function of the auxin? So you have to remember total 5 types of hormone name. You have to remember the name of the hormone and their 1 to 2 function. Okay. So what is the actually the function of the auxin? It actually helps in cell division and cell elongation and the growth of the plant. So for your sake, for your actually for easy memorization, I have made this slide in this way that you can easily remember, you can easily memorize these things. Okay, so during the time of your exam, just write down in this way. So auxins, what is the basic functions of the auxin? That it actually helps in cell division, cell elongation and the growth. Next thing is the gibberellins. What is the basic function of the gibberellins? That it actually helps in growth of the stem and the branches. Next thing is the cytokinins. What is the basic functions of the cytokinins? That it helps in the cell division, formation of fruits and the seeds. Okay. Next thing is the abscisic acid. What is the basic function of the abscisic acid? It inhibits the growth and affecting the wilting of the leaves. Okay, this is the short form of the abscisic acid is the ABA. The short form of the abscisic acid is the ABA. Okay, so this is very important for your exam. So I cannot write in this way. So the short form of the abscisic acid is ABA, and the last one is the ethylene. It helps in flowering and ripening of the fruit. So this is the total 5 types of hormone. Actually 5 types of hormone and their function. There are total 5 types of hormone. There are total 5 phytohormones are there in the plant's body and their specific and definite function. So for your exam, just remember each and every hormone's name with their 1 to 2 function. Okay. So I think this slide will help you a lot for easy memorization. So this is your last topic. In our next class, we will discuss about the last portion of the chapter, the animal hormone. Okay. So I think this video will help you a lot, and from this video we came to know actually the phytohormone, the specific types of phytohormones, the types of phytohormones, what is hormones and the difference between the exocrine and endocrine gland and different types of the tropic movement. So from this portion, the 2 most important thing for your exam, that the different kinds of the tropic movement and these phytohormones. So I think this video will help you a lot for better understanding, easy memorization, and go through each and every videos properly. Otherwise you cannot understand the content of the video for each and every day. Okay, so please go through the previous videos properly, and if you are having any queries, any problems, just ask me immediately. Thank you. Bye.